Another week is up, which means it's time for another Mortal Kombat News MashUp, so let's get to the news. So I guess PlayStation just wanted to continue Mortal Kombat's success as far as the most played game in August because they decided to release their upcoming October games for the PlayStation Plus players and service, and yeah, Mortal Kombat X has made the list. So for PlayStation 4, we're going to have Mortal Kombat 10 and PGA Tour 2K1, and for PS5, we're going to have Hell Let Loose. Awesome that they're going to give Mortal Kombat 10 some more attention and let players get to play that game. And yeah, these are going to be available October 5th and possibly even make the list for the most played game for October. We'll have to cross our fingers and see what happens. Moving on, let's talk about EVO 2021 being canceled. Due to the Rona, EVO will not be holding their EVO 2021 in-person event in Las Vegas. In a tweet, EVO's organizers said despite having to cancel this event, they'll continue to work on bringing back the big live events. In their tweet, they said, the goal of the EVO showcase is to bring together the best players from around the world in a live, in-person format. Due to the continuing complications of COVID-19 and the spread of the Delta variant, we have made the tough decision to cancel the EVO 2021 showcase. The players invited to participate in EVO 2021 represent many of the best fighters in the world. We're incredibly saddened to cancel the event, and the EVO team will be contacting each player individually to recognize their efforts. We remain dedicated to EVO's mission of celebrating the FGC and will continue to work towards returning to the big live events that you expect from us. EVO 2021 was scheduled to take place in Las Vegas on November 27th and 28th. The lineup was set to include Guilty Gear Strive, Mortal Kombat 11, Skullgirls 2 Second Encore, Street Fighter V Champion Edition, and Tekken 7. EVO was still scheduled to hold an in-person event in Las Vegas on August of 2022, assuming that there won't be anything continuing with the Rona. So next up, let's talk about a proposed NetherRealm Studios announcement from a possible credible source. Famed esports gamer Sonic Fox, who won the Mortal Kombat Final Combat in 2020, tweeted that he may know something about what's coming next from NetherRealm Studios. In a tweet this week, he said, I wonder if NetherRealm Studios will announce anything this week. Curious face. Well, that doesn't seem like very much. It is kind of suspicious that we have Sonic Fox saying this is kind of out of the blue. There has been Mortal Kombat 12 leaks and Justice 3 leaks coming out, and then we have him saying this, and what makes it even more credible and even more probable is we have the NetherRealm Studios producer Jonathan Anderson actually retweeting his post and even trolling the comments of some of the people that are coming on Sonic Fox's post. And yeah, this is what Jonathan Anderson had to say. One user commented on Sonic Fox's tweet, nothing released studios, kind of doing a play on words for NetherRealm Studios, and Jonathan Anderson replied to that comment with kind of the shocking face meme as like, oh really? Again, while all this may not be very much, it is kind of interesting to think that we have not only Sonic Fox, but now somebody from NetherRealm Studios doing some type of, not obviously a collaboration, but corroborate, you know, backing each other up a little bit as far as something could possibly be coming from NetherRealm Studios as far as an announcement. I don't know about this week, but it's all possible. I mean, other things we have coming out this week, I think like a Scream 5 trailer and some other stuff, a lot of stuff that's happening in October as far as shows and movies and stuff, so it's possible. We have leaks that are saying that we have something more announced at the Game Awards this year, if that were to be true, for something next year, but maybe, just maybe, we'll get a tease for something this week or maybe this month. Alright, so as if the story wasn't already kind of weird to begin with, and while it did have a lot of information that we hope to be true, we have a continuation or maybe a second Mortal Kombat 12 leak that almost is just as convoluted as far as the story behind it, but it does give a lot of information. So yeah, let's go over another Mortal Kombat 12 leak, and this one actually kind of feels somewhat familiar. So let's break it down. I won't get too much into how this story came about, but it has to do this time with a daughter getting back at a mother's boyfriend or something or other of like nature. Like I said, not too important. Her pain is our pleasure. So the leak starts off by saying, to start, the story takes place in a totally new timeline. Liu Kang has pretty much rebooted everything and picked his favorite warriors from all across time as his champions in the present. The main villain is the One Being, who acts like an amalgamation of all the major villains throughout the history, so Dark Raiden, Onaga, Shao Kahn, Shinnok, and Kronika. The One Being's plot is to merge all realms into one, which will allow him to fully awaken and destroy existence. We kind of got a glimpse of this in the Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. The game features the Kamidogu, which look like they did in Mortal Kombat Deception, not the daggers like in the Mortal Kombat X comic. The main plotline focuses on Liu Kang's team trying to apprehend the Kamidogu to stop the One Being. The game has multiple endings, some where the good guys win and the realms are at peace, and some where the bad guys win. A few even have the One Being reawaken and take over all existence. You get to choose multiple fight combinations in the story mode, and the outcome is determined based on which combination of fights you choose. That's pretty interesting. Gameplay-wise, the game is pretty similar to Mortal Kombat 11, but the variations have been toned down a bit. The reason for this is that there are a lot more characters, along with a create a character mode. That's something different. This results in more variety overall, but less diversity per character. The pacing is also a bit faster, with things like throws and especially X-rays are back instead of fatal blows, taking less time to complete. There is only one super meter which can be used for either defense or offense managers. The forward and backwards dashes cover a bit more range, and some have flashy looking new animations. Every character has 2 fatalities and a friendship like in Mortal Kombat 11. Hara Carice and Animalities also return from Deception in Mortal Kombat 3. The base roster is huge, with 55 characters to choose from. All non-guest characters from Mortal Kombat 9 through 11 return, along with a few other characters including Kai, Havoc, Ashra, and Taven. A few other characters including Serena and Shujinko are also planned as DLC. Ash Williams is planned as the first DLC character. They were trying to get Ash for Mortal Kombat 11, but they couldn't get the rights settled in time. Bruce Campbell is voicing the iconic character and has already recorded his lines. There are 30 base stages, with more planned as DLC. New stages include an Order Realm stage with floating pyramids in the background, that'd be awesome, and a Chaos Realm stage with a bizarre, fractured landscape in the background. Still awesome. Remakes of some classic stages like the Pit, the Portal, and the Subway are also included. I love the Subway, that was one of my favorite stages. One major new addition is the Create a Character mode, which is a major overhaul from its previous version in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. It is similar to Soul Calibur's character creation, where you use an existing character's base moves but customize aesthetics however you want. You can change your character's species, skin, body proportions, face, hair, outfit, and colors. You can also change their move effects. In addition to create a fighter, you can also create custom skins for existing characters. That's cool. Every character comes with 5 base skins, all different, not just palette swaps. And I saw 5 boxes for additional skins, but my mom's boyfriend says they might add more spaces. The game will be announced at the 2021 Game Awards. Sound familiar? And there will be a dedicated Mortal Kombat 12 press conference in early 2022, featuring a gameplay showcase, cinematic trailer, and a few character overviews. The game is very far along in development and is slated for a summer 2022 release date, that May 22 date we've already heard. So this is, I didn't cover this in a video by itself because it's very similar to the other video that I covered, and I feel like that one, while very similar, sort of, I think because it had the same premise as far as a girlfriend trying to get back at a boyfriend for cheating on her, and now we have this daughter trying to get back at mother's boyfriend, that, loses some credibility with these. But I mean, with all leaks, it's just kind of fun. I think it's just fun to talk about them. I know some people are like, fake, blah, 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 why we do this. But to me, it's just kind of fun just to talk about what could be and what kind of ideas people have out there, because you never know. I mean, just like we talked about with the Sonic Fox suite, where, people in NetherRealm Studios are obviously reading comments on Twitter. They could be reading these leaks too. I mean, come on. Everybody has the internet and everybody has time to look at that stuff. So they're probably thinking, that sounds like a cool idea. Let's put that in the game. So while leaks may be fake, most times they are. Sometimes they could be true, or sometimes they give the idea of stuff that people could actually put in the game. So that's why I cover them, because it's kind of fun. But I think there's some cool things in here, especially with the created character coming back. I think it's interesting with some of the ambitious ideas as far as merging of the realms, which we kind of already talked about in the previous leak. More of a consequence of what happens with Liu Kang turning, manipulating time, versus just having the one be able to get his way and having to stop him or undo what he's done. So that's a little bit different. I think with the Mortal Kombat, we talked about the big roster before, and having all these other characters come back that are more from the 3D era, that's something we didn't talk about in the other one. I think that's kind of a bit harder to believe. I think that if it were to happen, fans would be ecstatic. And then, of course, we have the Ash Williams thing, where is he or isn't he going to be in the game? I think Ed Boon said they were kind of going to be done with the 80s characters and the horror characters for a while. Maybe he was lying. Who knows? So we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I think this leak is pretty interesting and has some pretty interesting concepts. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about the leak. And finally for today, let's talk about the hardest brutality that was pulled off for Mortal Kombat 11. Gamer and content creator Super recently managed to pull off what is arguably the most difficult brutality in Mortal Kombat 11 by blowing himself up as well as the opponent. Playing against an online opponent who was the Joker, Super activated his win by turning himself into a literal ticking time bomb with Frost's amplified core overload. Self-destructs are nothing new to the franchise either, considering that the Predator had a very similar brutality in Mortal Kombat 10, and both of these are likely references to Cyrax's fatality from Mortal Kombat 3. Ed Boon even gave him props for achieving the brutality. Ed Boon tweeted, "Brutality, now try to figure out what the heck just happened." Shocked smiley face with stars, then asked Super how he did it. I have not seen the video yet, so I decided to do a live reaction with you, and yeah, let's get our thoughts going together, so let's watch the video.
Oh, really? Ooh, that works out in my favor.
It's coming soon, it's coming soon. That's an interesting skin for Frost, by the way. More like, I guess, a Chronica time look. Bromas, and that's a cold beat. Oh, getting close, getting close.
No, please.
Here we go.
Ah!
Okay. Well, that was pretty cool. She's doing something. She's doing something. Oh, yes! There we go. There we go.
Yes! 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 Oh,
okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Gonna get that shit. I did not think that I was gonna get that brutality.
Oh, his reaction was great. That was awesome. It was pretty cool. You know, I was kind of curious to see how it was gonna actually go off. I've never actually seen. I'd never played with Frost or as Frost, so I didn't get to see her. I've never seen that move before, so it's kind of cool that she's got like a kind of self-detonate thing going on. And it was. I mean, the brutality was awesome. I mean, talk about, you know, you may think you're gonna win, but we're gonna go out together. So definitely effective. And the guy's reaction, Super's reaction was pretty great. So it's great they got kudos from Ed Boon. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about the brutality, the hardest brutality to achieve, and if you were able to do it yourself or if you've done it. Let me know in the comments below. And that's it for today's news, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about all the stuff I've covered today. What are your thoughts on having the Mortal Kombat 10 be up for PS Plus? What do you think about Sonic Fox's tweet and the retweet from Jonathan Anderson, the NRS producer? What do you think about the recent Mortal Kombat leak that we've got again for Mortal Kombat 12 from a daughter scorned? You know, I don't know how that works. And yeah, what do you think about the MK11 hardest brutality ever? That's it for today's video, guys. Make sure that like button. For when this one, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on the mashup.